This is where the journey all first started back in Andrew Tate's university, like back 2.5 years ago. It's been a while, right? You might be thinking, Andrew Tate, why do you have a video about Andrew Tate? He's a controversial figure. He says you need a man in a relationship and there should be two polar characters in a relationship, not just a merging of the one, a merging of the sexes like what is shown in the Western world. Why do you follow this guy?
Absolute bombs.
Why do you idolize him? Why do you post so much content of him?
Yeah, being able to speak is a massively misunderstood superpower that a lot of people need to understand that can drastically change their life. But you're only going to be able to do it if you apply feedback to it. And the same is with absolutely everything in your life. Not enough people look back on what they did and identify where they made a mistake. And some people will do it when they lose, but the true professionals do it when they win. When my dad was playing a chess game, if he won the game, he would still analyze the game and see if he could have lost, where it could have gone wrong, how he could have won faster, what mistakes he did make, what he did well, what he did wrong, win or lose. So many people will sit in a scenario where everything went wrong and go, in fact, correction, not so many people. I would say 75% of people will not ever self-analyze the situation they're in. They'll blame everyone else.
Well, because a little surprise, if you've actually booked a call, which I would recommend you doing, I've learned a lot through this place. I went from, it's been that long ago. So I went from literally working multiple jobs to doing the affiliate marketing to even building up into the marketing where I am now, where I get paid a retainer based on what I do, how I do it, and how well I can actually promise them I can get from point A to point B. You might be thinking, but it's Tate's university. What could do anything good to do? It's Tate. That's actually you guys, because you don't actually have any balls. You aren't willing to take risk. You aren't willing to give stuff a go. You aren't willing to try. You've got to realize that. And you're like, why would you listen to Andrew Tate? You've got to realize if you hang around rich people, they will show you the way to get access to money in a quicker, more effective, and more powerful way than what most other people are doing. What? Do I want to be sitting there fucking flipping the burgers instead when I could be running my marketing agency, sitting back, telling people what to do in the world, besides obviously my budgets and everything, where you guys are dealing with all the shit you've got to deal with. I'm struggling to get by, being like, I don't charge my ticket, this world is too difficult, I run my little e-com shop, I'm happy. You've got to get a hold of yourself, people. You've got to actually do something important in your life. You've got to take a risk. I wouldn't be here today if I wasn't in this university. I wouldn't be here if I described, if I told you the stories of what I've learned through the actual campuses and actually applied to you guys. You guys couldn't be able to comprehend it. I'll tell you a few secrets that I've learned though, but you've probably heard them around. They're probably like every other marketing guru has told you about them. All you need to know is literally during my brokey days, all I talked about was just getting rich. That's all I cared about. That's all I wouldn't stop talking about. I didn't give a fuck about where I was, how I'm going to get there, how. So I joined the university, probably the best 75 Australian dollars I have ever spent. And then I just learned away from there. It's been honestly the most impactful part of my life, and it's went from point A to point B. And now I'm recording these videos showing you from what I've done and how I've created my digital marketing agency and teaching you guys my strongest point of SMMM, social media marketing, of that part of the agency, which is my strongest part because I know how to get people's ads flying. I know how to market to you. So I'll drop you this. One of the most important lessons you need to learn is how to market to one. You need to learn how to market to one because you won't know how to market to anyone else. If you want to play the game on extremely expert difficulty, which I would not recommend because you're going to get swept, your copy is not profitable. Your copy is all about me. This is not going to get you far. You've got to realize your copy that you write, you're marketing it to yourself. You're not marketing to that dream prospect of what that buyer is. That one dream person, which is literally going to milk this business dry and just buy. That's what you want. If you can make that one client want to buy from you for a lifetime, you will be sitting on an infinite money printing machine. Especially if your services, you work with these guys, you literally give them enough of a great service and then they will just keep coming back. That's what we got to do. You're in the rescribing business once you learn how to sell to one. This is why when you create your first set of ads, first set of copy, I would highly recommend you set up a spreadsheet. You write pros, cons, greatest fears, greatest desires, and dream of your life, like the day in the life. So Pros and cons. Who are these people? What are you selling? What is your product? So write up the pros and cons of your product and how you're going to do this. Then from there, write up the pros and cons of the person who you're selling to. But first, you need to get into an understanding of who that dream prospect is for your business. So let's just say, if I can tell you right now, for my coaching business, which you guys are watching content of, my dream prospect is a business owner who's been struggling with marketing, or someone who wants to get into social media marketing, which is why I speak the way I do, because I know you're going to be sitting there being like, I can't fucking stand this guy. Well, I need to listen to more. I need to see how he does this, what he does, and why am I wanting to buy from him today? Why am I willing to book on a call? Because I know that as soon as you book a call, that's just valid proof that the system works. You've got to build up enough of it value. You've got to build up enough traction. You've got to show these people what they really want and what they really need. You do this by showing, literally, you write up a spreadsheet, you write down your dream prospects down the life, you write pros, cons, and then on the next tab, you write desires, fears, greater fears, because the only way you're going to pull them in is if you basically throw their desire forward and then yank them in, put a little bit more of that desire just to bait them in, and then just yank them in with the greatest fear, and then just keep on playing that game of push and pull. It's like when you go out on a date, you're selling to one person. You're selling to that girlfriend that you've been out with for now a year. She's thinking she might sleep with someone else, she might not. Because that's you guys. You guys don't get anything good to begin with. You guys create that push and pull. You have fun. You have games. You go from X. You go from Y. You take the conversation in many different directions, and you use your conversation to do that. So now you've got to use that conversation of push and pull, and now display it in the buyers, because you've got to push and pull them so much that they want to buy from you today. They're from a freezing cold buyer to a burning hot prospect. You do this by saying what they desire, what they fear, what they also fear greatest. Being like, what is the best part about this customer, like the pros and the cons, and how are they best going to influence you there? And then how is this then going to influence how easy it is for you to get prospect? And also, another important thing is you need to do is a day in the life. I would preferably do it one day, because you guys don't have the brain power or capacity to get or understand what people can do 7 days a week. One day is enough. Monday, because Monday then sets the tone for the rest of the week. Monday sets in that pattern. Unless they go to church, that depends on who you're marketing to. But Monday is the best day, because then it sets them up for the week. Then you can tone your ads and scale them appropriately with certain language. You can then be like, you can be so psychologically and fear driven in your tone that you can be like, this is why you have this problem, this is how I can solve it. No, I'm going to say this because this is going to get your attention, this is then going to create a little smoke screen, then we can get this. Is entertainment enough? You've got to make your content interesting. Do you get that? You don't just go like, hey, this is a truck and charger, this is how we're going to sell it. Are you plug it in? No. Okay. Sales lesson 101. This is still marketing. This still has to do with your marketing. You can only get access to this charger with one phone. And this one phone will change your life forever if you actually figure out how to use it. But I'm going to gatekeep this from you, because there we go. It's a need, because this is let's just say on paper, this is the best phone out there. C, this gives you access to charge it, because there's no other charger in the world that can do it. So what do you think that does? Whenever you buy this, it also then, once you create enough of a supply of this, then this creates a further demand, so then people can buy this. This is where people can get from point A to point B in such a short period of time. Because, let's just say, I'm going for businessmen who want the fastest charging phone in the world. This phone charges within 10 seconds. This phone is fully charged within 10 seconds, will help you print money from anywhere in the world. The only problem is, this is the way that you can, this is the only way you can charge it. So people will buy for that speed, that product, because it's one of a kind. I have made it seem like it's so exclusive. It's a valuable phone. I will then charge someone like 10 G's to get this thing, because what? It charges in 30 seconds. It charges in 10 seconds. Doesn't it make it more desirable? Because it's fast. It's perfect for people on the go. It's perfect for people who literally need to plug in this. I then create the need by wanting this. Then I create the desire for wanting this, and then you go cause and effect to then relay into an infinite cycle, because once you get person A to be hungry and get enough desire to buy this, because it's the fastest thing in the world, it can charge so fast, it's perfect for the travelers, then all the money is going to be going towards that. But obviously in a more tailored ad. That was just on the spot. I don't I don't script any of these videos. That was on the spot. And then from there, I use this because it's a plug-in. It's the fastest charger in the world. This phone charges the fastest in the world, and that's perfect for people who value speed, because speed is everything. You will not win if you are not fast. If you want to print money from thin air, buy this. And even I just did it right there. I made you speed up, and then I dropped. That's also where you create tension. That's where you create the desire. The words weren't great that I was using just then because the copy hasn't been written. That was just literally just there. That was just made up. Or, like me saying, the key. This will be the one thing that changes your life. This will be the one thing that changes your life. You will get in the best shape of your life in the shortest period of time. You will lose 30 pounds or like 20 kilos within the next 6 weeks, and that is a guarantee. So that I provided a guarantee. I've got your target audience, because your target audience is people who work a 9 to 5 who wants to lose weight. It only will take you half an hour a day. Half an hour a day. That's all. All you got to do is eat right, go in the kitchen, train. Half an hour a day. So imagine if I could give you this, I'm charging you $6,000 for this. Imagine if I could give you this for $6,000 and you're in the best shape of your life straight away. I created a cause. I've also created a need. I also created a desire. And then with the cause, I've then created a need and a want, and how the person can get there from point A to point B. But I dangle the money in front of them because they're like, I can't give you that until you pay me. You do a similar thing with marketing because you make them want it so much. The price point isn't an actual issue. Or that's when you create them, like, have such a needing and like full desire that they want to get from point A to point B in the quickest time possible. This is what you do. You literally create your prospect to have a bleeding neck problem because you have sold to them in such a way which makes them to want to buy. You have sold to them in such a way that they need that product now. It will change their life. It is life-changing. Now, what are you doing about this? I have built some of the best sauce I have. Not even some of the best. I've built some of the sauce I have. Once you actually get to work with me, then you'll understand the sauce that I use and how I use it effectively. Because you're watching this video, you know I speak well. Well, do you want to know the secrets behind that too? Do you want to know how to be able to print money out of thin air just by your words, just by a video that you're watching like this one right here? Do you want to get access to content, ads, and actual proper strategies that I have spent many hours, money, and time learning on how to do? What's the risk? What are you willing to sacrifice to get there? How are you going to get there? What? Because you're certainly not going to get there by yourself. Either way, whenever you create a problem, there's always money in the way. So you got to figure out either A, how to get the money, or actually have the balls to take the risk. You actually have to take the balls to take the risk. This is how everyone I know has gotten rich. All the poor people just save money. You've people got to realize that marketing is the best way out. Because once you understand how to solve a marketing problem, the business becomes your oyster. You can farm it as much as fucking possible. You can get paid so much more. You've got to understand, there's people out there printing $50,000 a month from one client. One. And what are you willing to do? You're not willing to sacrifice shit. And as you've probably realized through this video, I've also taught you the lessons that I learned in Andrew Tate's University. But only if you're smart enough, or if you have enough brain cells, you will actually figure out what the lessons is and take action on. You will understand. You will have more than enough of a brain to understand and to see. You will be able to see what people do not. Because the one-eyed man still wins in the land of the blind. So which one do you want to be, blind or the one-eyed man? Or do you want to just sit back, waste another decade of your life and do nothing? The choice is yours. This is my one last time I'm going to give you the guys the option. Book a call down below. I will change your life.